So many questions still surrounding the coronavirus are out there, including the legal questions. So we are going to call in an expert for some answers. Please welcome Tom Merriman from Merriman Legal. It is so good to have you here joining us. Thank you so much for being here.
It's great to see you, Natalie. It's been a long time.
It has.
I missed the whole crew there. It's always fun to be on the show, and so it's nice to have this opportunity to see you, at least remotely.
I know, right? But hopefully before we know it, we'll have you back in the studio. There's so many legal questions, as I mentioned, that are out there, and people don't really know their rights. I know Governor DeWine, he did deem legal services to be essential. Have you been working throughout the shutdown?
Yeah, we have. Even though the courts are moving very slowly, there's no in-person hearings or trials. The need for urgency in cases where someone gets injured or there's a catastrophic death doesn't change. And so our team has been working the entire time. We have enough social space here to enough office space to socially be socially distant. So we've been responding to cases, responding to calls, getting our people out there to investigate, to nail down the evidence. We've had to adjust. I took a Zoom, I think about a half a dozen Zoom depositions of soldiers in Kuwait.
Wow.
Yeah, because they were witnesses to a crash that happened in Portage County back in 2016, a double fatal motor vehicle accident. I took a Zoom deposition of a highway patrol trooper sitting in her car, behind the wheel of her car. I was in an office. So we're adjusting. But we've got to keep moving forward because we've got to make sure we're nailing down witnesses and evidence to keep those cases moving, because people who face these tragedies, they still have the same needs.
Something else we've seen you, I know, in the news recently for cases that you filed on behalf of college students. That's something, college expenses, could they get refunds? It's a big question out there. So if a college has shut down their campus, are the students entitled to get anything back?
Yeah, they can be. And most colleges and universities, number one, they did the right thing shutting down to protect their students and protect their staff. And most of them have done a good job of providing refunds to students for what they missed out on. There's a few schools where we've identified issues. We've been approached by students, said, hey, for instance, the University of Toledo, it was closed for half the semester. The university unilaterally gave them less than 10% back on their room and board. Our view is that's a breach of contract. A judge should step in and fix that. Ohio State dental students, big part of third and fourth year students, their education occurs in the clinic where they have clinical instruction. The clinic's closed. We're trying to get that money back to those students. So we've been providing that service. People have called us. We try to evaluate and we do free evaluations. And if it's the appropriate case, we'll take it and try to get them their money back.
Now, you cover a variety of different types of cases. I think another big thing, for those out there who might have gone to a restaurant and then you contracted the coronavirus, that's a question a lot of people have. Can you sue the restaurant?
Well, I think, that's a big issue right now because there's a debate about whether businesses should be given immunity moving forward if their customers contract coronavirus. I think those are tough cases to prove. So I think the concern's a bit overblown. And some people may look at me and say, well, you represent people, injured people. Of course, you're going to say that. But the reality is, if you look at like the foodborne illness cases, unless a lot of people get sick from the same establishment, it's very challenging to prove that you got, whether it's a foodborne illness or you got COVID-19 because you went to that restaurant last Friday night.
Sure.
If 50 people get sick, okay, there's a case. But one person, how do we know you didn't pick it up on a railing at the parking garage or from your cousin a few days later or whatever? You have the burden of proving that. So yes, you have a case, but a lot of caveats. It's a tough case to prove.
I know there's so many questions that people have out there. I mean, another one is with business owners. Do they have a right to require you to wear a mask when you enter their establishment? I mean, if you could quickly answer that one, Tom, because I know we're okay.
Absolutely.
They do?
No shirt, no shoes, no service. Same thing with a mask. Business has the freedom to say, hey, these are the conditions that are coming in. And frankly, if you don't like it, you have the freedom to go somewhere else.
Well, here's the thing. If you have questions and you don't really know the answers to them, you can give Tom Merriman and his legal team there a call with Merriman Legal. You always amaze me with things that I think people wouldn't have a case for, and they do. So never think that, you don't really have something out there. So give them a call. They're the experts. They'll be able to help you out. Hope you stay safe, my friend. It was so good to see you.
Thank you. Great seeing you. Hang in there.